Now another Muslim jumps in on July 11th, which is just a few days ago. He jumps in and says, "One word for you, Nalan, brainwashed. What's wrong with my idea on going after the Kaaba in Mecca and defiling it with missiles carrying pig poo for starters? America nuked 2 cities in Japan and it ended Japanese aggression. And like the Muslims, Japanese were into suicide bombing, kamikaze. Seems to me, before we nuke Mecca, we let Muslims know that Allah is just an invention of a very evil pedophile." And that gets him angry. He doesn't quite read that yet, but he says, "One, you are brainwashed." How am I that? How am I brainwashed? Saying so doesn't make it so. So how am I brainwashed? Two, that will create conflict. Like there isn't conflict from Muslims already? If you found out that the Kaaba was hit by cruise missiles fired from an Israeli sub, and the Kaaba was destroyed, like when it was by Abu Tayyar, before he was a Carmatian leader, before he stole the black stone and used it as a urinal, well, how would you act? Would you start acting like the zombies in World War Z, breaking into people's homes and trying to remove heads of those you think would be happy that the black stone was probably in pieces again? Because it was broken into pieces when captured before. Three, if you do that, then I can destroy the chapel, right? Destroy the chapel. Well, I don't care. But you would do more than that if you found yourself bowing down to pig poop, true? Instead of wondering why Allah couldn't say be and keep the black stone from being defiled again, you'd think it was Allah's telling you to really put Quran 9:111 into play and kill everyone you think was happy that the big black dark cube that once held over 300 pagan idols that it was just not only destroyed but defiled, true? Well, who would you kill first? And that gets this guy named Tony Stokes into the thing again. He says, "But Nalan Yahoo," calls me Nalan Yahoo, like Netanyahu. I kind of like that. I think I like Nalan Yahoo better than Nalan Yezmar. "But Nalan Yahoo, will the settlers still want the land if they have to build on the graves of Palestinian women and children? They must be running out of space now, eh?" And with that I said, if it's the Palestinians who are running out of space since they tried to follow Muhammad's command to take over the world and breed like rats to make knights in Allah's cause. Anyway, that gets this lean guy really, really pissed at me. He shouts, by the way, do I have any, how much time do I have for this? Yeah, I've got time. "What the fuck is wrong with you? Asking Muslims questions is wrong to you, isn't it? I just saw videos of a 9-year-old getting kicked by a soldier for standing outside his house. Sure it wasn't a Muslim dressed like a non-Muslim soldier? After all, Muhammad said war is deceit. A kid waking up in the hospital to be told his family is all dead and a man," I think he means man, "losing his son in the hospital. Why? Were they on a rooftop of a building being human shields so Israel couldn't fire back at the building that had missiles and rockets shooting away from it at Israel? Israeli neighborhoods and citizens? This is inhumane. But it is humane to shoot missiles at those who aren't under Dar al-Islam like Israel, Israel is not under Dar al-Islam, making Israel Dar al-Harb, the abode of war, true? That's just fine to shoot rockets at Israel and even its nuclear power plant, true? This is disgusting, this is sick. But it's not disgusting or sick to set off bombs in pizza parlors or commuter buses in Tel Aviv dressed as rabbis and pregnant women so checkpoints will eventually be set up, true? That's not sick. You're sick! Oh? Realize this. Who the hell? Realize this. Realize this. Who the hell watches cities getting bombed and clapping and cheering each time? Muslims, when Muslims hijacked planes and crashed them into American buildings, then blamed the victims by saying America did it then blaming the victim by saying America did an inside job as a way to try to divert away from the fact that if there was no Quran at 911, America wouldn't have been attacked on 9/11/01? Oh, I'll tell you, Israel did it. Not so, O slave of the best of deceivers. Not so at all. They killed and tortured children shamelessly. False. If Israel was as evil as Muslims tried to make Jews in Israel out to be, to support the Quran's claim about them, Israel would not only have not traded Gaza with you ingrates in 2005 in the hopes of achieving peace, but every Hajj, Israel would use Mecca as a nuclear testing ground and would have threatened the world with incineration for complaining about it. Guess what? After Boko Haram and killing Christians in Africa, Egypt, Sudan, you name it, I think Israel can now actually get away with the nuking of Mecca every Hajj. And not many people would complain about it. No, tell me who is the terrorist is. Well, not those who call up the places about to be bombed so the Muslims can take over. Not those who call up the places about to be bombed so the Muslims can leave before they get hit. Of the thousands of airstrikes on Gaza, only a couple of hundred have been killed, if even that many. And that's in spite of Muslims and their kids trying to get mile-wide butts up in Jannah by making themselves human shields and getting killed by those attacks.